Just a quick update. The most important point I forgot to tell you is, as I said, this soil, this is just like a mineral soil here, is waxy to the touch. Okay. The most important point which I forgot to tell you is this one now feels like twice as waxy as that one. So this is the formula with the organic coir. Now looks like black coir. I've had to move it because when I was touching it with my finger, it was quite warm. Whereas this one over here, look at the spot colour. This one over here, when I was touching it with my finger, it's coolish to the touch. So it's it feels like a warm winter soil in other words. So yeah, so I'm going to keep that one in the sun. This one I assume gets about the sun comes up about 5:30 now, this time of the year. So it's getting at least 6.5 hours of somewhat dappled to shaded light sort of thing. So it should be a lot better there. Anyway, I put in a spaculata there, so it's not the best. You can take this off. It's not the best. So see how close we can go down there. Down touching the soil almost. So anyway, if you notice this though, the stem is fattened up in about 48 hours. It's just amazing. That one was sort of curling over, so I thought, yeah, I better move it, sort of thing. So the seedling's still sort of the tomato seedling, and that's the white sour guys say, if you can grow a tomato, you can grow CBs. So yeah, so. I'll give you a close up on that one there. I mean, if you like your dandelions as much as I do. there's a sonkus there, and of course we've got our more papyrus in there, but that one's got calcium in it, so that's why it's not doing so well. But yeah, so how our ideas from about 25 years ago were sort of right. We tried to make the plants iron deficient, and in a way that's when we started getting some growth back then, and you got amazing rapid growth. But of course, by making them iron deficient, we were trying, inadvertently I suppose, trying to get away all the problems and interreactions of iron, you see, including those with calcium, you see. So yeah, in other words, we're trying to stop rusting in a way. So so we're on the right tracks, but for the wrong reasons, or on the wrong tracks for the right reasons. Anyway, so it's almost like we're going back 25 years in a way. So I'm expecting big things. I put some seeds down. I did put a few seeds down there. I'm amazed how wet that is underneath with that brick. It's amazing. Shouldn't be like that. Oh well. Anyway, so that was just a quick update. Oh yeah, let's try this one again. See if there's any more. It is on spot colour. See, we're getting a bit of coloration in that one though, even though the grain size is not the best for that, so yeah. Anyway, that was just a quick update. Colour check at this time of day. It's about 12:30 now. Just about had my my first cup of coffee for the day, sort of thing. I think I need one. Yeah. So and it's remaining sort of moist now. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. I put this tray in there so to capture the and to monitor the so-called CP tenant. This thing. I said sometimes it works really well, and other times it's a pain in the bum. I should have got my my torch. Anyway, they're quite dark. It's black treacle. It's almost as dark as treacle now, isn't it? So yeah, almost as dark as treacle. Maybe I should have been on spot colour now. Okay. Yeah, well, hang on. Yeah, let me just put it down somewhere. I don't know. Somewhere. Can I balance it on there? Yeah, balance it on there. I'll just go and get my torch. Right, well that was a bit of morning exercise. Now, we're still on spot culling. Yeah. There's my super duper torch. Well, at night time it is. That's how dark they are. My super duper torch is hardly making a dent. Oh yeah, and all the other thing is by taking it off that brick and putting it here where it's more level, I flushed the bot again, and it took a second. It held a second load, whereas it was spilling over with one load, so it doubled the amount of water that you can hold in the bottom. Basically, oh, there's a little bit more it could hold actually on that side. So I'm glad I actually moved it. So now it's got twice as much water in that container at the bottom. Though you would not have appreciated that if I hadn't moved it. Oh yeah, I promised I was going to show you the this thing here. If you put that on there, it levels the it levels the bucket. If you put it on there, underneath there, it still levels the bucket. But now the bucket is flush with the stone. So yeah, a little mathematical trick there for you. Okay, well that's about it for now. I need to go and have my cup of coffee, my first cup of coffee for the day. But I'll keep you informed. Now with our 3-week timing, that means 21 days. I put some Cape seeds down there. That's going to be about the 3rd of January. Yeah, so we might have an early Christmas. You know, an early Christmas present, I don't know, or an early New Year's present, I don't know. A very early, 3 days into the new year, we might get a little bit of excitement. But I hope I haven't cooked that bloody spath this morning, having it out in our intense sun. But anyway, I thought I'd give you just this update because I wanted to get that important point across. I forgot to mention that it feels about twice as waxy as when it's just mineral soil. So the formula has made that twice as waxy, basically, by feel, roughly twice as waxy. So that was another reason I wanted to get it out of the sun, because wax is like water repellent sort of thing, if you got. But then again, as we've learned that paraffin candle wax will absorb copper to themselves. So maybe a waxy soil does the same thing. So maybe this idea that copper is the highest micronutrient in peat, it may be true, but it's an artifact sort of thing. You need this other element there. Maybe that's the difference between the number of European carnivorous plants you have and the number of South American, South African and Australian carnivorous plants you have. That's the difference. If you have the other element about, because you will also have to keep in the back of your mind that we've had the largest copper mine that's ever existed on the planet, and most of the Victorian copper came from Australia. Most people don't know that. From the largest mine it's exhausted now. It's the largest mine that's ever existed on the planet, and it's totally exhausted because we dug up the copper for the Victorian Industrial Revolution, basically. That's why we had all these Cornish miners coming over here. They were the workers that did it, and totally exhausted the largest mine that's ever existed on the planet. So, because you need copper for bell wire, you see. So so all the basic circuitry that started happening and all that, you need a lot of copper wire for that. So, bells, inductors and everything else that needed copper wire to make the new revolution work. It basically came from down under. So you can thank Australia for your for not having any more poverty over in your your area of the world now. Okay. Anyway, so I thought I just said that that it might be a furphy, it might be an artifact. This idea that copper is the highest micronutrient in peat. It may be, because the other thing is, when you go from peat to lignite to coal, cobalt was first discovered in coal. So you go peat, lignite, into coal. So were they confusing copper with cobalt? Or does cobalt also get attached to waxy materials? So does it both absorb copper and cobalt? And does it proportionally absorb more cobalt than copper, sort of thing? Anyway, you might want to think about that. So you might want to try that too. Anyway, over and out for now, and I'll see you on the other side in maybe a few days. I don't know. I said the fastest seed germination I've ever had was with Drosophila indica from the British Society, and that was basically 4 days. So yeah. Anyway, and that's always likes to germinate around about 26 degrees Celsius. So just if you want to know that, I did some graph work, and it turned out to be the optimal temperature for germination of Drosophila indica was about 26 degrees Celsius. Okay, over and out. See you.